Hello everybody and welcome to Third Beard Fishing. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how I do my haywire twist steel leaders for sharks, as well as my mono leaders with a quick release for sharks that I use for casting only for casting on a spinning rod in the Indian River Lagoon, as well as the local rivers, as well as casting in the surf. And like I said, this is only for casting. This is not for bait drop drones. This is not for targeting really big sharks. This is only for what I can get to where I'm at. Now, this doesn't mean that I couldn't potentially get a really large shark on these rigs. You can't judge what you're going to catch, but we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it's a little bit informative and it talks a little bit about why I do what I do. And yeah, let's get into it. Before we begin this awesome video, I want to show you guys something. My views are mostly from non-subscribers, about 86%. So if you guys are watching this and you are not subscribed, please take the time to subscribe. It really helps out the channel and I greatly appreciate your subscription. Now, back to this awesome video. Alright folks, so this is what we're going to be making. First of all, this is our actual mono leader for our shark rigs, and I'm going to show you how I set these up. Now, preface this, okay? As I said in the description, or in the as it says in the thumbnail, and as I said in the intro, this is for river fishing for sharks in my area, and it might work for you guys in your areas too. I don't know. But we generally don't get fish here that are over about 8 feet at the most. We get like 8-foot lemons, which are pretty max. I mean, you're gonna potentially get bigger fish than that, but you know, it's pretty rare. So I'm set up for fish that I know that I catch pretty regularly, and I've never had an issue with these rigs. So I'm gonna show you how I set them up. This is basically set up for 250 pounds, but I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be putting it together at 150 pounds so I don't waste all my regular leader as I'm showing you, and also because I'm actually out of the correct crimps that I need for the 250 pound mono. They're ordered, so I'm going to be doing it in 150 pound mono, but it's still the same process. So yeah, that's where we're at. So it's the same process. Don't fret. I'm just going to show you how it works, but this is really easy and awesome. And the benefit to the system that I've got and the way that I do this is when I use either my cable or my shark wire leader, when it gets damaged by the teeth from the shark or bent up or busted up after I catch a shark, I can actually unhook that and replace it with a fresh one, and can reuse this mono leader a few extra times, as long as I keep track and make sure that this isn't getting real chewed up, because it does get damaged some from the shark and from its skin, as well as hitting the sandy bottom as well. But this mono leader is very important. It adds some shock absorption, and also allows it to rub on the shark's back when it's hooked. So this stuff is very important, but this allows it to be reused a time or two after, so I don't have to keep wasting these and wasting the tackle off of them if I can. So that's why I do this, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. So let's go ahead and get started on making one of these. What in the world? That was a shark. God dang. That was that teeny tiny little piece of mullet. Wait. Bluefish. Alright, first things first. So, and I will probably get some flack for this, but I don't care. I am making the leaders the way that I make them for myself, what works for me. And I'm casting a spinning rod in a river. I'm not fishing in the ocean with these rigs. So just understand. I am not doing a 15 to 20 foot or more mono leader for river fishing for sharks. It's not something I need because I don't have a bait drop drone, and I also don't have I do have a kayak, but I rarely take it out, so I'm just casting, so I don't need a leader that's going to be super long. Yes, I mean, technically it is a risk. I could run into a bigger shark that could potentially rub on the braid, but I haven't ran into that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of leader that's probably a meter long, about a meter long, or and that's what we're going to go with. Like I said earlier, this is a 150 pound mono. That's not what I usually use. This is just for educational purposes only. Don't jump on me for using 150 pounds, because that's not what I use. This is just to show you how I make them. Alright, so now we got our leader. Got that set up. Now I'm going to come over here to my shark box. This is where I keep all my tackle. Got everything I need in here. So what we need to grab out is our swivel. So I want 2 of these. These are actually rated at 250 pounds. I also have 400 pound swivels, which I use for my bigger ones, but for this educational purposes, that's fine. These are 250 pounds. I call them quick releases, and you'll see why. We're going to grab one of those. I have a 250 pound rated ring here. Then we're going to take 2 of these plastic thimbles, sleeves, and you'll see what those are for. These are not, you don't have to have them, but I like to use them anyway. And then we're also going to take 4 of these 150 pound sleeves for the mono leader. We're going to set those aside. We're going to move this over, and we're going to get started on the build. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the tie end for where the braid actually ties into the swivel. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our 150 pound aluminum crimps here, and take the other one, go ahead and slide it on there as well. Okay, like that. Set that to the side. And this is the pain in the butt part. We're going to take this this glow-in-the-dark sleeve, slide it onto this piece. It's easier with the 400 pound rated swivels because they're bigger and easier, but we're going to go ahead and get this popped on as best we can. There we go. Alright, so now that's on. Go back to where we're at with the end of the leader. And what we're going to do is slide this in like that. Give ourselves a good tag end. So we're going to need it. Go ahead and bend that over. We're going to go ahead and slide this crimp in the mono leader in through the crimp first, like that, and make sure everything is kosher. I'm going to bring it down, and I'm going to go ahead and just make sure everything's right, and go ahead and crimp one down just to hold it in place. Right there. Boom. Boom. There we go. Alright, so it's held in place. So now we got that on there. Boom. Alright, so now we got our tag end and the other crimp we're going to pull that back down like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to twist this mono like this, just a little bit. Now I probably should have done a little bit longer of a tag end, but again, this is just kind of giving you an idea how this works. I'm not making one that I'm necessarily going to use in the river because I'm probably going to cut this back down. Oops, I dropped the... There it goes. Cut this off so I can reuse some of this tackle. But we're going to go ahead and insert this in like that. Get it down like that. And we're going to go ahead and crimp down one so we'll hold it in place, and then we'll do all the crimping. There we go. Alright, so now just go ahead and I crimped 3 times, so we already did one. Go ahead and do the other 2 on each one of those crimps. Boom. And that's done. And then we'll finish up the other end. Like that. Alright, there we go. So that end is done. Actually doesn't look too bad. So there you go. So now we can tie that to the braid. Now we're going to do the other end. Again, this is there's about a million different ways you can do this. This is the way that I do them, and the way that I like them, and the way that works and has worked for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on like this. Now, same thing. I'm going to put the swivel. Slide this in. Now eventually I am going to get a bait drop drone. That is the goal. And when I do, I will be doing big leaders, like 15, 20 foot mono leaders. Because I don't have to worry about casting, obviously. And especially when you get out there, you're going to be really potentially getting bigger sharks. But when I start going out there doing that, and I really need to be definitely having a partner. And that is big time for sure. So we're doing the exact same thing that we did on the last one. I'm going to do the spin. And go ahead and crimp this one down as well. Put that in there like that. It's almost through. Come on, just a little bit more. There we go. Hold that in place. Crimp it down. Finish the crimps. 1, 2, 3. Oops. All right. Alright, that part's done. Now, what we're going to do, and this is the tricky part sometimes, these rings are really tight and really hard, but I actually have this little pick, and what I do is I actually will press down through it to open up this ring, and that will allow me to place this inside like that, and then I can put the swivel inside like that, and then I go ahead and start sliding it that way. Move that pick out and just keep twisting it. Boom, and there you go. And that is a rig. This is a 150-pound leader rig. Obviously, like I said, I probably would never use this because I have gotten bigger sharks than 150 pounds in the river. So that's not going to be sufficient. So I will probably take this one apart and reuse these pieces. I won't be able to reuse the crimps, obviously. But yeah, that's the leader. That's the mono leader quick release setup that I use, and I love it. It works amazing. And now I'm going to show you how to do the haywire twist wire leader setup that I use. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're going to be doing the haywire twist for the steel leader shark rig section of the, so it's basically the bottom part of the rig that we just made. So what we have is a no-knot hook. We have a snap that's going to go for our weight. We have a 250-pound swivel, and then we have 300-pound rated steel wire that we're going to use. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the swivel to one end, and to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place the swivel on. We're going to give ourselves a pretty good length of a tag because we're going to need to work it. And we're going to go ahead and pull this over. Now we don't want to bend this and crimp this down. We want to give ourselves some space to work. So what I like to do is I use channel locks, and what I do is I will pinch down the ends here so I can hold it. Lock it in place, and then what we're going to do, I wonder if I can get that a little bit closer here. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually twist this wire around. We don't want it like a crazy twisted tight wire. Crazy tight for the first ones. But we do want to twist it a little bit. So 3 or 4 twists is perfect. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3. That's good. Alright, so the next step, once we get just like a light twist on it, I may try to twist it one more time down here at the bottom. Once we get the main light twist on there, then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold it really tight up here where the tag end is. We're going to go ahead and bend this to the side, and then I'm going to just wrap it as tight as possible up here like this. At least 3 times. You can do more if you want. And there it is. So that's how you do that. This one doesn't look that great. I do apologize. My hands are hurting. So what I do is I go ahead and bend that way. I bend it up against it, and then I start to spin it. I go back and forth, and then it'll break off, and when it breaks off like that, it actually is super smooth. So there's the swivel end. And what I do is then I will actually take one of these. I can't even remember what these are actually called off the top of my head. But I use these to hold my sinker. I use really strong ones because, man, I have a hard time getting these pop loose. I'll take this and I'll go ahead and slide this inside that swivel, and this is where my sinker is going to go. Some people use slide sinkers, and I definitely would use a slide sinker on the beach, but I don't do that when I'm river fishing. So I fish in the Indian River Lagoon, as well as the Sebastian River and Turkey Creek. So in the river, I really don't need a slide weight as much. So there we go. Alright, so that part's done. So now we're going to do the hook. And it's literally the exact same thing. So I can go ahead and, if I want to, do it without the hook in it. Just go ahead and get that there like that. Put the hook in. Go ahead and hold it down as best as I can. Ouch, it's in the way. That. Twist it. Alright. Loose. Can't quite get that third twist in there. There we go. Alright. Hold that back down. Bend it and twist it until it is nice and tight and pretty. Alright. There's that. Just spin this tip off. When it's super small, sometimes it's a pain to get hold of. There we go. Now she's starting to work. Alright, and that is the haywire twist for a steel leader shark rig. And that's all she wrote. That's how we do it. Alright everybody, so that's going to do it for today's video. So like I said, these rigs work for me. And there's really so many different ways that you can do it. Again, I'm going to say this. I've seen so many different people in the shark fishing community that if you don't do it the way that they decide that you should be doing it, then you're doing it the wrong way, and they give you a lot of crap. And that's unfortunate. That's sad. You know, we should be supporting each other, since there's a lot of people in the world that is against us and doesn't want us to fish for these animals. You know, we have a lot of people against us, and we should be helping each other out and everything. So, like I said in the beginning, this is specifically targeting sharks that are in my area, the sharks that I catch in the areas that I catch them in. This is not going to work for a 10 foot, 12 foot tiger shark. This is not going to work for a 10 foot to 14 foot great hammerhead. These just aren't going to work. These are tried and true rigs that I have caught sharks anywhere from a, honestly, a 12-inch Atlantic sharp-nosed shark, all the way up to a almost 8-foot lemon shark. Almost 8 feet. 8-foot lemon shark is my biggest shark so far, and these rigs worked. I don't think I can get much bigger than that, and honestly, I don't really expect to see much bigger than that in the areas that I'm fishing right now, with the exception of the ocean. Now, I do fish in the surf a lot, but I'm only able to do it from where I can cast, and I am not very proficient at casting very far, and I'm not having a lot of luck at catching sharks out there other than little tykes, and so that's where I'm at. I am looking at getting a bait drop drone. Once I do that, then my mono leaders are going to drastically increase in length, and my hook size is going to drastically increase as well as the heaviness of my mono and my heaviness of my other terminal tackle. So that's where we're going to go. But I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed the quick releases. It's a really cool system that I like using. I have each piece in a separate bag in separate places in my tackle bag, so as it's needed, it's grab and go. I don't have to worry about taking the time of making something. I can just replace what needs to be replaced and get the fishing and get going. So I hope this helps you guys. I really enjoy making these videos, and that's going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys back on the water. Take care. Hello everyone. If you could, I'd love for you guys to check out my father-in-law's YouTube channel. It's a YouTube channel that I also edit videos for called Bearded Lumber. They are a full-service sawmill and kiln channel, and they are an amazing channel. I hope you guys will check them out. The link is in the description of this video, so check them out. You'll really enjoy this YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you for watching Third Beard Fishing. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion, and feel free to subscribe here. Thank you.